Coach, first of all, you know, we kind of talked about a little bit just the speed that Gibraltar has been able to develop during the course of the season, and that was certainly on full display tonight, especially in the second half where the game got kind of run and gun there for a little bit.
Yeah, it was up and down. It was like a little bit of a horse race. Not necessarily how we like to play every game. I mean, you got to save legs too, especially this time of the year when you're playing multiple games. The guys knew that we have a stretch coming up where we don't have to play till Friday. It's not like it's a game tomorrow night. But the only other thing that we really wanted to focus on is our defense. It just got sloppy. Anytime you're playing that type of game, we were doing a lot of things differently on defense with full court pressure and things of that sort, and trying a couple new things tonight. And you probably saw that in the first half. It was probably guessing what defense we were on, and now they're in this, and now they're in that, and we were kind of pulling out everything. But second half, we just went to straight man-to-man defense, no switching, no confusion, and obviously things still get messed up a little bit once you go full court back and forth. It gets a little sloppy, but overall I was really happy with the performance.
I did notice that the second half came out and it was back and forth and back and forth, and at that point in time it's not a who am I guarding? It's not that's my guy. It is just pick up whoever's running at you at that point in time.
Yep, you're running a scramble drill at that point, and sometimes it results in major mismatches, and then sometimes they're coming down on a two-on-one. If you don't get the charge call, it's a foul, and that's nobody wants to play transition defense with the two-on-one coming at you. And then you just hope that other guys are getting back in time to at least set up and protect the house, protect the paint. But it's obviously fun. You guys were shooting well tonight. We had 3 guys with over 20 points. I think Luke ended up with 30, Sam ended up with 22, Dominic had 28, and that's fun when you can do that. That doesn't happen every season, and we really tried to adjust the way we were attacking that zone in the second half and trying to get it more to the block, and that made a big difference.
And we always talk about it a little bit as well, because obviously, people exchange tapes and talk about what maybe they saw one team do over the other. How important is it for you to kind of show, hey, we can really grind you in deep? I mean, Dominic Kroll controlled the baseline the entire night, and then you have Sam Lindenberg, who for a while there couldn't miss a three-point shot.
Yeah, speaking of tape, I mean, I saw the game against NEW and them, and we had gotten that film from our fellow Packerland friends, and not going to lie, we stole a couple things from them, and the way they attacked in the second half, it was working for them, so we thought that would work for us as well. So we made some similar adjustments to what NEW did against them in the first game that we saw, and it worked out.
Take us into the locker room a little bit. What was the first thing that you told the guys as you celebrated tonight's win?
As coaches, we said, we weren't going to come down on them too hard in the locker room about their defense. That was our only disappointment tonight. So we mentioned it briefly, but we'll focus on that in practice, and we just celebrated the good things that they did, the fact that they were hustling. The effort was there all night. Sometimes we lacked a little bit of focus, but the effort was definitely there. And in the locker room, we just celebrated the success of getting the first one under our belt, and the fact that everybody was hungry for more. So a lot of senior leadership in that room. They were pretty fired up and ready for fighting. And
how important is it, and we'll make this your final question, how important was it for your team, unless you got something, Brian?
Once you're done with this, I have one completely off-the-record question I'm going to ask once Tim is done.
How much of a confidence booster is a game like this when you're able to score 97 points moving forward with the offense that you're able to show tonight?
The difference in our game tonight is a lot of times we're an outside shooting team, and if you watch the film back, or if you kind of paying attention to the shot chart, most of those shots were happening inside the paint tonight. So as a coach, I liked it because we're shooting, even though we like to shoot outside, our percentages are much higher inside the arc. So just the fact that those guys recognized it tonight, I really appreciated that they stuck with the game plan. They executed the game plan, so that gave us a lot of confidence moving forward. And then, anytime you're going against a 2-3 zone, the three-pointer will always be there. So we passed on a lot of them tonight, and we looked for that inside shot, and I was really happy with that. So I think anytime you can get your offense flowing from the inside and then work its way out, it just opens up the shot, and obviously gives guys more confidence.
And now my completely off the record, and nobody's going to have to know that I asked you this one. Were the guys hoping to get to the 3 digits?
Oh yeah, of course they were.
I mean, I know the crowd was, but
yeah.
was that kind of in the psyche? I know you kind of called them off about the last 15, 20.
They're 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds. Yeah, of course they wanted 100. They had plenty of opportunities. If I wanted to go into a 4-out with about 2 or 3 minutes, and then I could feel the crowd, and at the same time you have to we're up by 30, so you got to have a little bit of class, and we're not going to jack up a 3 with 10 seconds left in the game. I would never do that. So they had 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left. The opportunities were there. Had a couple shots not fall, and then after it got to be a certain point, it's like, all right,
you're done.
We're done. We're going 4 out. And I think a couple of them were still trying to have blinders on and put the earplugs in like they didn't hear me, because you could tell a few of them were still pushing that ball down the floor. But we actually pulled out of our press. We subbed everybody in this game, and then we were basically walking the ball up with about 5 minutes left in the game. So trying to get a little more offensive flow, but of course it was pretty clear the team and everybody else wanted 100, but that's not the most important thing.
No, that's why we know it's not. We know that's when you're up by. I mean, if you get 100 points and it's a 3-point game, 100's important.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of parents that are mad at me that I didn't let them shoot in the last 15 seconds. They probably wanted it just as much as the players.
No, nobody's mad. Nobody's mad at you about the outcome of this game. It was a well-coached, well-deserved win, but there's still enough that you can put on the X's and O's on the chalkboard tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon.
We have back to the drawing board. The nice thing, we've talked about this before, the nice thing about film these days and huddle and technology is that most coaches have film on everybody, and I can see everybody tonight that I could potentially play, which is kind of exciting, but at the same time nerve-wracking, because you want to just focus on one game at a time, and focus on what's most likely going to be Surrey on Friday. I don't know the outcomes yet, unless Sta had an upset, but it's tough to, as a coach, I tell the guys, I'm going to look ahead and make sure that we're prepared, especially if we have to play back-to-back nights, but as players, you just focus on what we tell you to do for the next game.
Well, Coach, we'll be right here on Friday night for that game. We thank you so much for having us once again. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you throughout the week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll take one more quick break. You're listening to your home for Gibraltar Sports 105.1 WSB.